think the thing that changed my prerogative on what type of music I would listen to was Metallica in 1988's Van Halen's Monster of Rock at the Akron Rubber Bowl. I've kind of told this story a bunch of times in the past, different shows I've gone to, and it's always kind of the same thing. I went and saw this great show one day, and there was this little known band that came on second that hardly anybody had heard of, and blew my shoes off. And they were called Metallica. It's like it's crazy now, especially younger people that know Metallica, but back then they were taboo, and so by the end of that 3-month concert series, they were no longer unknown. It was unique because of a couple of things. It was the first Monsters of Rock where there was several acts in a day, ran throughout the day. It was a pretty novel idea. So the fact that it was a day show and several bands was a unique event, and just kind of being surprised by again somebody that I'd hardly heard of, didn't know what to expect, and then coming to find out what they were doing. So we decided we'd like to go to the show for the fact that there was 4 bands that we knew of pretty well, and it started at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It was a nice close drive to the Rubber Bowl for us. So, and we'd been through a bunch of concerts, me and Dave, and so we showed up early, and it was the second day of the show actually. We had heard on the news the day before it was over 100 degrees, and we were kind of congregated in the Rubber Bowl. So I remember it being a really, really nice day, super hot, but not uncomfortable, but still a really hot day. A really relaxed atmosphere. When this concert came around, I had already been a veteran of a lot of good rock concerts. I'd seen Pink Floyd at the Cleveland Stadium the year before. It was a spectacle like no other, but I had already liked Pink Floyd for years before that, and finished my first year of college. I was 19 years old, still living at home, going to school, but didn't have a lot of expendable money to go and entertain myself on too many things. I grew up in a very conservative home. I was raised Catholic. I can remember my older siblings having to deal with their skepticism and disapproval of the type of music that they like to listen to. And so, as a whole, we tried to keep that away from the parents. So we watched the first show, and then they had to tear the set down. And then this relatively unknown band shows up on stage for the second act at, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. There were still people coming in that weren't even really interested. They were probably more coming in for the next 3 acts, the Doc and Scorpions and Van Halen part of the show. And this band starts playing, and I was just blown away. They start playing a song called Creeping Death. I wondered why nobody had ever told me about how good this music really was. And then proceeded to just listen to song after song after song that really just changed my mind about what a seedy, underground, genre of music it was, and how finely tuned the musicians were, and just the overall sound of it, and pretty much changed my perspective on what I thought of heavy metal and my taste in heavy metal from there on out. So I think when you're young, you carve your niche of music that you like, and you may add some as you get older, but you grow up listening to what you like, and then you keep listening to it. I think I learned to judge the book not by the cover, but by, what I know of it. The reports of, how evil and horrible was somebody else's viewpoint being given to me, their opinion, right? So I was able to form my own and also be able to, add a genre of music to my repertoire of, music which I love. Something that I think glad that I was able to experience and judge for myself. I think I keep going back to that conservative upbringing I had, where if you go down this path and it's bad and wrong, and just by listening to that kind of music and having that experience that changed the way I felt about it, kind of got me over a different way of thinking about things in my life. So yeah, maybe that changed me, a little deeper in that sense as well. Obviously, me amongst a bunch of other people who happened to enjoy that experience in that summer of '88, were seemed to be quite right.
That's your story?
That's my story. Rock on.